Hi, welcome to the Mathematics department at Heybridge Sixth Form. My name's Gemma Sherwood and I'm the head of maths here, and I want to take a little bit of time to talk to you about the courses that we have on offer for you if you come to study with us at Sixth Form. First of all, I want to talk about why you would study mathematics in the first place. Well, maths, you may or may not already realise, is essential and useful for lots of university courses. So some of the courses we've got listed here require mathematics, and some of them it just complements them really well. Obviously, if you want to do a maths degree, you need to have maths A level, but thinking about all the other choices you have, anything engineering will generally have maths as a prerequisite. Things like chemistry, biology, physics, biochemistry, biomedicine, all different types of science courses, lots of them will ask specifically for maths, and lots of them will say actually it helps your case or it helps your application if you have a maths A level. Medicine courses, lots of medicine courses like you to have maths A level. And then you've got things like computer science or psychology and sociology. Computers are underpinned by mathematics, and the algorithms that computer scientists use are written using mathematical principles. So maths really helps if you're interested in computer science, but also psychologists and sociologists and anybody in the social sciences uses a lot of statistics to help them reach their conclusions. So having a good background in the statistics part of a mathematics A level can be really helpful with those kinds of courses too. Now, as well as being useful for what you might want to go on to do in the future, it also complements lots of other subjects in the sixth form. A lot of these I've mentioned already, and so I don't need to go into too much detail about them, but the one thing I do want to point out is that you don't necessarily have to just be studying science and science-based subjects or STEM subjects to do A-level in maths. You can also take an A-level in maths if everything else you do is humanities, for instance. You might be doing subjects that require lots of essay writing, and maths might be the thing that just lets you do something different in the day, something to take you away from from the writing and things you might do in your other courses. So bear in mind that it complements a lot of courses directly, but it can also work as a nice way, a bit of light relief, if you like, for some of the other courses that you might be taking. And why would you study mathematics at all? Because it's good for your soul. Maths, you'll find if you come here that we absolutely adore it. And the reason we adore it is because it's wonderful and it enables you to think in a way that other subjects don't necessarily allow you to do. So we love maths here, and hopefully if you come to join us, you will love maths too. Now, why would you study maths at Heybridge? So first of all, the maths teaching team here at Heybridge are expert mathematicians, and we've been teaching advanced maths for years. I was trying to do a calculation earlier, and I think between us we've got over 150 years worth of maths A-level teaching experience. Also, a lot of us are A-level examiners for the actual A-level exams, which means that we know them inside out. We know what you need to know, we know the way that questions are asked, and we know the things that the examiners like to see as well. So that's really helpful to you when we're teaching you. We have more students in A-level maths than pretty much any other subject in the sixth form. That's great because it means you're never on your own. If you are in one of our study areas and you need some help, chances are somebody else there will be doing the same thing as you, even if they're not in the same teaching group as you. Having said that, we also have small class sizes. So generally our class sizes are between 13 and 19 students, which means although there's a lot of people overall studying maths, there's actually not too many of you in the class. So we get to know you really well. We know your strengths, we know your weaknesses, and we're able to help you. We have 9 hours a fortnight that are taught in lessons, and then another hour for each fortnight is a dedicated study period, specifically for maths. So you come and you work in our maths working area around the classrooms, and that means that there is a maths teacher nearby to help you if you get stuck, and there are other maths students working in the same place at the same time. And we get outstanding results, year in, year out. Over 70% of our students regularly achieve an A-star to B in their A-level. We're regularly above the 75th percentile nationally for progress. Now what that means is if we take what grade you come into us with your GCSE and what grade you leave us with at A-level, the progress measure is the jump from your GCSE to your A-level and what you'd be expected to get. And generally, our students do better here than they would be expected to do given their GCSE grades. And we also have an average of 25% of our students getting an A-star over the last 3 years, so we get a lot of top grades. And this one I'm really proud of. Our students love their maths lessons. Whenever we have any kind of student voice or surveys and those kinds of things, maths always comes out positively. And on top of that, over 50 of our students in the last 5 years have gone on to do a maths degree or a degree with a high mathematical content, which goes to show that they really enjoyed doing their maths. Now, one more thing that's a really good bonus here. If you ever miss a lesson, we've got a YouTube channel, and every single one of our maths lessons are on this YouTube channel, which means you can go away and you can study it again at home, whether you've missed it or whether you just want to go over something. And you know that that's always there to stop you from falling behind. What will you be doing in a Maths A-level? Now, Maths A-level looks the same at every single school and college up and down the country because everybody has to do the same thing. What is that? It's a 2-year course and you take 3 exams at the end of the 2 years, and each of those exams lasts for 2 hours. Now, 2/3 of the course is on pure maths, and that's the first 2 boxes there. Pure maths covers things like algebra and functions that you've started to learn about already at GCSE, and graphs, and then we've got trigonometry. You've already learnt about things like sine and cosine rule perhaps. We take that on to a higher level. We teach you to measure angles in ways other than degrees. And also you're going to learn about something called calculus, and calculus is one of the most important areas of mathematics. It's the area that is used probably the most when mathematics is applied to any kind of problems out in the real world. Calculus is the maths that was invented by Sir Isaac Newton predominantly, and then taken on from there over the course of history. And calculus is all about modelling change. And we live in a dynamic world, a world that's always changing, which means we use calculus to help us make predictions about things that are always changing. Now, the last third of your course is what we call applied maths. And applied maths consists of 2 parts, equally split. Statistics is the first and mechanics is the second. You've already met some statistics at your GCSE. You've done things like drawn histograms or drawn probability trees to analyse potential outcomes of events, or you have analysed data using different measures of average and spread, like the interquartile range or the median and the mean, those kinds of things. So we take all of that and we apply it to bigger data sets, and we apply it in a lot more detail. Big data is really important in the modern world. Apps on your phones, such as Instagram, for instance, they have people that they pay a fortune to analyse your habits and your usage, and they analyse this using the kinds of data and statistical analysis methods that we will begin to teach you in your A-level maths. And the reason it's so important is because these companies want to know this information because they want to know what to do next and what kinds of products to create. So we will teach you the kinds of skills that you could then use to go on to work in the tech industries in something like big data. Now, the other part of your applied maths is mechanics. And mechanics is the maths that really underpins physics and studying the physical world. It's things like forces. It's things like if I were to roll 2 balls on a table towards each other and then they bounce apart, I can predict the speed that they're going to move at, the directions they're going to travel in, or if I put an object, or if I drive a car down the road, for instance, I can work out the different speed it's going to go at given the friction between the car and the road, or the work that the engine does. All these kinds of things is a part of mechanics, and we will start to teach you this in your Maths A-level. Now, we also offer another A-level here at Heybridge, which is called Further Maths, and you probably have heard of this already and are maybe wondering what this is. Further Maths is literally what it says on the tin. It's more maths. But the great thing about it is, if you are into your mathematics, then this is where you get to go into loads of depth about really unusual things that you won't meet even on your normal A-level in maths. It's a really regarded A-level, very highly regarded, and that's because it's generally considered to be a step above any other A-level. And if you love maths, then this is the one for you. This is the kind of A-level that people do when they just really enjoy doing their mathematics. Now, to give you an idea of how highly regarded this A-level is, in 2014 there were more students that were accepted to Oxford University with an A-level in further maths than all of these other subjects here combined. There's some really well-respected subjects there, but it goes to show that further maths itself sets you apart, and it shows that you are capable of so much more than maybe other students might be. So if you are aiming for a Russell Group University or Oxford or Cambridge, or perhaps a maths degree, and you want to do something that gives you more knowledge than your peers will have, then further maths is the A-level for you. Why would you choose to do it here at Heybridge? Well, again, we've got expert teachers who know the course inside out and have been teaching it for years, and our results are regularly outstanding. Over 90% of our students achieve A-star to B, and 45% of them on average have had an A-star over the last 3 years. Now again, you'll be in good company because further maths is very popular here. In some schools and colleges you might only get 2 or 3 students taking it. Here our groups range from about 10 to 18 year in, year out, which means you won't be on your own. There will be other people studying it. And this one I'm really proud of. So in 2015, the Good Schools Guide, which is a magazine that gives that rates schools and talks generally about private schools, but they do sometimes talk about state schools as well. The Good Schools Guide produced a set of awards, and we here at Heybridge won their award for girls studying further maths. And what that meant was they awarded us because in that year our girls got better results in further maths than any other group of girls at any school or college, private or state, in the whole country. And that just goes to show what a good experience our students have here at Heybridge. What does further maths look like? Well, again, you have a 2-year course and you take 4 exams at the end. Each of the exams is 1.5 hours long, and your first 2 exams are summarised in the blue box on the left hand side there. And it's further pure mathematics 1 and 2. So this takes the pure maths that you learn in your normal A-level and it extends it into ideas that are completely new and different. So you learn in further maths, for instance, about complex and imaginary numbers, which might sound to you like they're made up, but you will find out that they are absolutely not made up and they have really useful functions. And you will learn how to draw graphs in different coordinate systems rather than just X and Y Cartesian coordinates. And you'll be able to make all sorts of weird and wonderful graphs in these new coordinate systems, for instance. It's all sorts of stuff that you'll discover there. Then, the second half of the course is applied maths again, and that's split into 2 parts. So out of the 3 modules that are listed there, mechanics, statistics and decision maths, we take 2 of them. Now this year, for instance, our students are studying mechanics and decision mathematics. So mechanics will take the ideas from physics that you learn in your normal maths A-level and just extend them and analyse them in deeper ways. And decision maths is like nothing you've ever met before. Decision maths is probably the newest branch of mathematics that exists because it was generally developed across the 20th century. And it's the maths that underpins computing because it's the maths of algorithms. So you will learn, for instance, about how a computer sorts items into some kind of order, or you will learn how a business might choose to maximise their profits while minimising the number of staff that they deploy in certain areas in order to become more efficient. That's the kinds of things we study in decision maths. Now, what about our entry requirements? So for a normal maths A-level, we would like you to come to us with a 9, 8 or 7 in your GCSE. We will accept you with a grade 6, but we'll do it on a trial basis. So we'll take an induction test earlier on into the first term, and if it seems like your background knowledge is lacking, then we'll have a conversation about it. Ultimately, if you're prepared to work hard, you can succeed in A-level maths with a grade 6. You need to make sure that you don't have gaps in your knowledge, because maths is what we call a hierarchical subject, and everything you learn is built upon and built upon some more. So you need to make sure that your foundations are secure before you start A-level maths. Now for further maths we take a similar approach. We recommend you have a 9 or an 8 at GCSE, but we will accept people with a grade 7. And further maths is taken as a 4th A-level. So what that means is you will choose 3 A-level subjects and you will put further maths down as an extra. Now this is the only A-level where you're allowed to put it as an extra, and that's simply because there is so much overlap between maths and further maths that it's not quite the same workload as taking on a complete extra 4th A-level. Now, if you are unsure about further maths or you're umming or ahhing, the best thing you can do is put it down on your application form, come along and give it a go. Because it's a fourth subject, it doesn't matter ultimately if you decide that whether or not you do or don't want to continue, because you will still have 3 A-levels. So if you're not sure, give it a go, give it a try. Now, the most important thing for both of these subjects is that you have a good work ethic. I've mentioned this briefly before, but this is so important. Some of you watching this video will be breezing through your maths GCSE, and you will be finding that you barely have to do any work and you find everything very easy. That will not continue at A-level. So you need to be prepared to work hard at it, to practice, to do all the work we set you. But if you are prepared to do that, then you will be successful. Now, if you're not necessarily sure whether or not you even want to take Maths A-level, but maybe you'd like to do something mathematical, we do have an alternative course. We have a 2-year course where in Year 12 you study core maths, and in Year 13 you study A-level statistics. You get 2 qualifications at the end of this course, 1 in each of those 2 subjects. And you take this in addition to your 3 A-levels. So we have something here at Heybridge called enrichment time, where you choose optional things to do. And one of the things you can do is this course in core maths and AS statistics. Now, we accept anybody onto this course with a 5 through to a 9 at GCSE. And if you've got a grade 6 at GCSE, then this might be the most appropriate course for you. You get UCAS points with this. Now, what that means is when you're applying to university, you can use the points you get from this course to count towards your application. And what does the course look like? Well, we study financial mathematics, so you will learn about tax and having a mortgage and all the kinds of maths that is really useful for your life as an adult. You will also look at analysing data. And I mentioned earlier on in this video about big data and how it's used in the world, especially the world of technology. You'll learn more about this in AS statistics and a bit in core maths. So if you're interested particularly in the statistical aspect of mathematics rather than anything else, then this course is great for you. It will help you to become a statistically literate member of society. So what that means is when you're watching the news and they throw up graphs and data to try and convince you of a certain point of view, you'll be able to analyse that and see whether or not you're being misled. Here's our maths team. You'll see there's quite a few of us that teach maths here at Heybridge. When you come to join us, you will be taught by any combination of any of these wonderful teachers, and you generally have different teachers in Year 12 and Year 13, so you get to meet quite a few of us over your time here. And the great thing is that generally someone's always around, so if you're working down in the maths department or in the sixth form centre and you need help on something, one of these maths teachers will be free and around and about and available to give you a hand. So, if you have any questions, then you can either look at the Heybridge website, and on there you'll find lots of information about the course and a bit more details, and you'll see our prospectus there as well. And if, having done all of that, you still have something that hasn't been answered, then please send an email to the email address on the website and ask them to forward it to me, Gemma Sherwood, the head of maths, and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Thank you so much for listening, and I really look forward to seeing you in A-level maths next year.